Hi, Michelle. I hope all is well. I wanted to get back to you, and Gab and I did, with kind of a revised plan for everything and where we're at. We have a lot of pricing in, but we're still waiting on some pricing. So I'm going to go through everything. We are going to meet once you decide what you want to do and where you want to move forward. We're going to meet with Sebastian and go over exactly what's going to be painted white and what's going to be painted gray. And we'll go over all of that. For the foyer, we're going to do that really large Darlana, which is fabulous, and we're going to do the new runner here from Carpet Workroom. What I'd like to do, we're going to switch this out to a sienna. I did think about switching it out to a recessed, but our electrician said that that's just going to provide just like downlight. And he said, whereas the light here kind of provides to the left and to the right and all over. So let's keep that just a flush mount. I think it will be perfect. We're going to do a gallery light here and a larger mirror here and remove these things here. And then down below, down here, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. Down below, we're going to do a gallery light, a smaller one here. And we're going to do a table, either a demi-lune or like that, or something like this. And Gab and I are going to template it to make sure the size is right. And this is going to be a smaller one of these, which I think will be beautiful. And then we'll help pick out art, lighting, photography, whatever is going to go here. But I think that will be so amazingly great. This is the smaller gallery light. Here's the Darlana. And then here are some of the options for the tables there, which I think will be really beautiful. This one's from Room and Board. This one is from the Expert. This one is also from the Expert. So we can kind of decide on what looks best and also what's within the budget. These are the smaller gallery lights, and these are the larger. And then we have this sienna for the top of the stairs, and this runner for the stairs, which is super, super beautiful. For the kitchen area, we decided that we're going to do a base, and we have pricing for you for that, and Gabby's going to send all that over. You can let us know if you want storage or not. We have the cafe windows. We're going to keep a flow consistent with black. Some things will add some silver, but I think this will be beautiful. So these are the cafe hardware that will just be so beautiful. And we won't have enough space to do a back cushion, but we will do pillows and things like that there. So I think that's going to be amazing. We can decide if we want to do some really great artwork or some plates or some things that just mean something to you. And we're going to switch out this light fixture here. We're also going to add a new table and new chairs and new bar stools. I was thinking for the bar stools to do something really low, something that doesn't have a back. I'm not sure how often you use these and if that's important, but we can kind of talk about that. So we have a 48-inch round table from Vermont Farm Table, and we have two chairs, which I'll show you. These are just some other kind of inspos that we had shown you. We're going to do a cushion on the seat base there, and then we're going to pick the best, whatever the wood species that we think looks best in that space. These were some of the lights that I thought would be great there on top of the table. I love this light. It's from Visual Comfort, super beautiful, would look great over the round table. The same with these. These are very reasonably priced as well. So we're keeping the flow. We're just adding just a different element, which I think would be super, super beautiful. These are a little bit pricier, but these look very similar, and I think they'd go beautifully. So I'm thinking of doing two of something like this for the chairs around the table, or we could do two of these, which would really be beautiful, or maybe even three. For the bar stools, for now, I was thinking if we did a couple of these don't have a back, and I don't know how you feel about them. But again, I just don't want to block kind of your visual space for with bar stools there. So we can talk about that. In fact, I was thinking like maybe when you do your kitchen over at some point, we eliminate this part here and we make up for that lost storage in other areas. But that would kind of open up this whole flow here. And maybe we just add some kind of an addition to the top here to then that could be the countertop and you could kind of sit here if this were gone. Just a thought. And again, not something you have to do now, but just to give it some thought. So I'm excited that we're going to do the appliance garage here, and this is going to go all the way up to the top. And I have a plan in here to show you of what that will look like. I want to also talk about here, what we can do here, this space. I think that could be an amazing, amazing place for something, whether it's just art or it's a gallery ledge that we could do a couple of ledges for photographs, or maybe it's a piece of furniture that's lower that gives you some storage. So when we send over tomorrow the plans for the family room in here, I'll include that because I think that's a huge component there. So these were just some of our inspo picks for that area with the banquette, and I think it's going to be beautiful. And this is the appliance garage. The only difference with these two is that we do have a beverage fridge here and here, but the difference is that the doors on this one up here slide in back into the unit. These are hinged, so no right or wrong, just whatever kind of works for you. The back of this can either be a wood or it could be a tile, it could be painted, it could be whatever we want. We can talk a little bit more about that. So for the cafe curtains, we're going to do this fabric, which we all loved, and I think that's beautiful with a thin black hardware for those. And then for the powder room, we are going to do this wallpaper, and then we're going to paint the vanity this color blue. Paint the trim, paint the ceiling that color blue. I think that will just be absolutely beautiful. We're going to do either a new light above that, and we can do this, which I thought could be really pretty in the silver over here, or eliminate this light here and then do a light like this over to the right here, right here, which could be super, super beautiful. So then for the office, we reached out to Shane, and he is having some issues with timing for us. So we're talking to Damien, another person that we work with. So these were a couple of different ideas. We had given you a bunch of different thoughts with regards to the doors for here, and we had kind of settled on this kind of look here, whether it's a track or hinge, whatever we kind of decided to do there, like this, these are hinged. But I was also looking at this and I kind of love the idea. So this would be, and I don't mean with the shingles on the top, but this would be if we had wall here and wall here outside your dining room, and then we did two glass, these doors just like this that are on a track. I think that could be a lot less expensive because we're only having now two doors instead of four. And it's just, I think that it could work really easily. So you let me know your thoughts. Again, it wouldn't be like the brown shingles. It would just be wall, and then the doors would be on a track. We would also do another door as you're coming from the kitchen into the dining room so that that space feels like it's closed off when it's closed off. And it would be one of these doors, the same exact door. We wouldn't close off the entrance into the little foyer area. So for in this dining room, we had talked about possibly doing some type of wallpaper or paint on that back wall over here. I think what really matters here is a couple of things. So we do have this wall here, which is a big space if we wanted to wallpaper it, and there's small areas here. We're thinking about doing Roman shades here. If we did some kind of storage here, which I think would be brilliant, I don't think we need to go the wallpaper route. I think we can just paint it and have this kind of be the hero and the doors be the hero, which I think would be fabulous. Right now we have a desk here that's facing out here, and the desk kind of keeps consistent with the pieces that are in the foyer and the pieces that are in the 4-chair room and some of the things that we'll add to the family room, and we'll send that tomorrow. So kind of like this kind of a look, which I think could be really, really beautiful. So we've added a bunch of different options for storage. And this was kind of what I was thinking on that back wall, something like this. So these would have this mesh here. So it would give you, it would make it look very interesting. And I think it could be beautiful. And then this bottom area here would be for like your printer. We could really kind of keep it totally focused on what you need. This was just another option. When I saw this inspo pic that I love, I noticed that they just had kind of low shelving back here. So we could do something like that as well, and then do like a gallery wall above it, or do one piece of art, or do a really large framed, beautiful bulletin board that you could, post whatever you wanted on it. This was again one of my inspo pics too. I love this look. I love this kind of storage area. So it could be something like that, or even like I showed you earlier, like this. This lower kind of area here. And then we could even do just paneling, like a very simple applied molding there. So keep it simple, kind of like this picture. So pretend these had faces on them, or were drawers or something like that. And this is just paneling and molding above. That's what I mean by that. So these are just some options from Room and Board for a table. I thought they were beautiful, and then we can soften it with like this chair from Restoration Hardware. It's pretty reasonable. We could pick our fabric. Again, I don't know if we do end up doing that storage for you in that space, if we need to do wallpaper. If we don't do the storage, maybe we do wallpaper, or maybe we just kind of review your whole budget and keep it paint. So these were the doors that I reached out to our rep about. I had originally said, let's do a Simpson door, which we always do for an exterior door. They also make interior doors. And he said it would be much less expensive for us to go this route with the masonite. It's a very similar door, except for this is an interior door. It doesn't have the insulation value that the exterior door would have, and is much less expensive. So let us know your thoughts on the doors and your thoughts on how you feel about possibly doing something like this versus doing all these doors. I'd love your thoughts. This just reminds me of the table. Again, these are the doors that we had looked at for inspo. And for the rug there, I'm thinking that we do either one of these. This works really well with the rug in the foyer on the runner, and so does this. They're both the same. They're very, very reasonable from Pottery Barn, and we use them a lot. So for the 4-chair room, we have the Ravelli chairs, 4 of those here, and we have those in the Restoration Velvet Fog, which is super, super beautiful. It's performance, it's really great. I love the look of it. We have a 92-inch console in here. However, I found a console that was a little smaller, shorter. It's about, I think it's 84. It's right here. So it's 84. And this is from Crate and Barrel. And it's reasonable. It's beautiful. Again, it continues that flow that we have throughout the space. And then I found this coffee table. It's metal from West Elm. And it's also very, very reasonable. And it's 36, which is what we want. So we have the 4 chairs, the 36-inch round coffee table, the 84-inch console. I think this room is just going to come to life. So in here, I'm thinking that we paint in here white, white on white, or we could do up here that lighter gray. But I think with everything that we have here, I think that the white on white would be really beautiful and everything would just kind of come to life. These are the sconces that I adore for that room. So we're going to do a sconce here and a sconce here. And I love these lights. I think they're so beautiful. They kind of reflect the Darlana light. Even though the Darlana doesn't have glass in it, it has a similar look to it. This is another option. This is from Lumens, and it's quite a bit less expensive if you're feeling like this is like, I think it's about 900. If you feel like that's too much for 2 of them. So this is the look that we're going for, just clean and bright and beautiful. And again, keeping a flow, keeping everything consistent, not everything the same, but this is the fabric in the fog. And then we're going to do a small pillow on each chair that has a pattern and like a color that we pick up on. This was just, I was playing around and put in a stone table just to see how we liked it. I really like the black. I think it's beautiful. I think it works really well. So tomorrow we're going to give you some options for in here for furniture. But what we're thinking is a long sofa here, and then a chair here and a chair over here with a coffee table, or a long, like almost like a long sofa with a chaise. So this end over here has a long part, and this end over here has a long part with a coffee table. So we're giving you a couple of different options, as well as what we could do here that doesn't compete with the appliance garage. We don't want anything that's too tall up here that makes it kind of look wonky to your eye. So then I started playing around with the bookcase and the shelving and all of that, and the windows, and I started to put in some different options. I kind of feel like anything that we add, because we have these windows up here, anything that we add up here just makes it look like 70s and kind of busy. So I just played around with tall storage to see if that helped, to see what we could do with that. And then I was like, let's do something like this that runs all the way across. It's going to save us a lot of money. I think it feels so much cleaner. I just love this look. And then we can layer a couple of pieces of artwork or photography. We can do some lamps on it. I think it's a really, really nice look. And I think it would save us some money, and I think it would be beautiful. And I think with the appliance garage and the height of that, and I think some of our other things, I think it could be beautiful. So I had asked ChatGPT to put in a long sofa with a chaise, and it didn't really understand me, but we will get you some options tomorrow. I also wondered if you wanted to redo possibly your fireplace, and I don't mean redo the whole thing. I just mean kind of like the surround. It's, it's dated. So that's something that we could do for not a tremendous amount of money. I love something like that, just so simple and clean. So for in here, I was thinking of doing window treatments and maybe even some fabric in like this kind of Belgian linen. And here we would definitely do something that is performance because of the dogs, because of you, because of all of that. We don't want you to have to worry about that. So we will give you those options tomorrow. And then as we move to your bedroom, we're going to paint in here. It's going to make a huge difference, especially with the ceiling. This is kind of the overall look, even though I know the bed is over here. We are going to look at this. I think I left you a sample of this for the base. and then go over it in a certain area with this loy loy rug, which is super, super beautiful. We talked a little bit about the options from Restoration Hardware, and we settled on this color here for the dresser and the nightstands. And I think it's going to work, especially if we keep all of the furniture, like the dresser, the front legs on top of the rug so that it's not a huge contrast. I wish this were a little bit closer to this, but I think it will still work. So this is the bed here that we're going to go with right here. Let us know if you want to do the footboard or you want to do without the footboard. And this was the fabric that I was thinking of, which I think is just super beautiful. This one is not performance. They have one that's performance if you want it, if you feel like you need it with the dogs. Winnie actually likes to come and lay on the bed here and puts her head here, and it gets a little dirty. So it might be worth it to have performance. You just let us know. This is the light for over the bed, and this is the light for over in the sitting area. I had talked about eliminating that. But again, the electrician said that he felt like this would give us more light that kind of flowed through the space versus just a down light. And then we're going to go with these lights for the nightstands. This is the under rug, and this is the loy loy. And this is what I suggest for the chair chaise. We were looking at a chair for there. We were looking at this. And then when I was there the other day, I thought that one of these would be fabulous. So these are chaises from a company that we do a lot of work with. And I thought it could be really pretty and with a simple little table. I think that would be absolutely beautiful. You let us know your thoughts on that. This was just kind of an inspo. We wouldn't do pink. We would do this color right here that kind of blended in with the bed, blended in with the rug and everything. And then for the dresser, we're going to do this from Restoration Hardware with the Carrera on the top. And then we're going to do these nightstands with the Carrera on the top. So for over the dresser, the large dresser, I asked Gabby to put in these 3 different size mirrors. And I really love this mirror. And what I think we should do is do a frame in front of it, like just leaning a frame in front of it. And the frame could be a photograph, it could be artwork. We could do a lamp here and a lamp here. So lots of different options for there. But I think that could be really beautiful. So this is kind of what I mean in terms of leaning. So we have the mirror and then we lean a piece of artwork or a photograph. It just has a great look, and I think it's going to pull everything together. These are the wovens that we're going to use in here and possibly the Peloton room. This is your closet that we're going to move forward with, and I believe we're going to move forward with the morning light, and then we are going to move forward with either the black hardware in here or the antique silver, whatever your thoughts are. So for the Peloton room, we're going to go with this, and we're going to go with a much less deep daybed over here. And then we're going to put your bike and your treadmill over here, and we'll figure out where the weights can go and how to make this space just sing. So we're going to switch out these lights to the sienna, and we're going to do a sconce either on one side or both sides, which I think will be really beautiful. We're going to do a French mattress like this and do some great pillows. This is another option for a window treatment. It's called a chic blind, and I really love it. So we could do that in here in place of the one that we're doing in your bedroom, or we could do them both the same, which would be really beautiful. So much to think about. Let us know if you want storage below the day bed in here, and we are excited. We can't wait. So again, Gab is going to send you out the revised spreadsheet. Doesn't have everything, but we will get back in touch with you, hopefully next couple of days with everything. And maybe we can plan a time to Zoom and go over your questions, where you want to move forward, what you need other options for. And I think that will be great. Thanks so much, Michelle.